Hey folks, my name is Pravus and welcome to more After Ink Revival as we continue with our Mega Brutal Guide series. We're moving on to Mission 4, the Slumbering Swarm. Out of supplies, survivors dismantle the barricades from the bunker door and leave. The world is beautiful, but the silence is terrifyingly loud. So up to this point, the game has taught us how to deal with scattered zombies and how to deal with winter. Now what do we do combining all of that, but there's a lot more zombies on the map, and then how do we pull them away from the main group so we don't get overwhelmed? That's what this mission is going to teach you. In fact, you could call this the taunting tutorial, and you wouldn't be too far off. As far as leaders, we've got some good options this time around. The Economist is pretty much always good on Mega Brutal. You can get a lot of things done if you know exactly what you want to do. However, as a matter of playstyle, always save a few points with the Economist, because if you have an emergency and you've got no points and a long time to wait, you could easily fall apart. So always be careful about adjusting your playstyle there. For the Hoarder, this character is going to make it so every time you are close to your storage cap, you automatically build a new storage unit for a discounted stamina price. This is fine, except if you ever overproduce some resources, you're going to accidentally burn through all your stamina at a time you don't want. So I don't love her, but she's okay. I'm going to go for the personal trainer. This allows us to go into a deficit for our stamina at the cost of morale, and our people will consume more food. The extra food we can adjust to. The option for a deficit is really just for emergencies, and you never know, you might need that. As far as our trait, we're going to go for positive outlook. It's the same as adventurous, but better, so no reason not to, and I do want that exploration discount. Let's go for Mega Brutal difficulty, and this is called Kitten Bone. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started here. Our first objective is going to be to explore 4 areas. Let me show you what the map looks like here. So you can see to our south and west, we've got some resources. To our north and east, we've got some directly northwest and directly due east. Waste of time, try not to bother with those if you don't have to. There are going to be a bunch of zombies on the map, some to the far northeast, a lot along the roads to the south, and we're going to end up having to clear all of them out. So let's be intentional about how we explore to get our economy going, and then we're going to go on a massive exploration spree. As far as our objectives, we need to explore 4 areas, and we have to do this very quickly because our impatience is going to kick in after only about 50 days. Then we need to produce some food, build up to population 3, train 2 fighters, and then from there it's fight, fight, fight. So, going back to the game then, let's go ahead and think about our build order. We want to explore these 2 regions for free, since we do have those exploration discounts. That's half the objective done. We'll explore up here over to the north. I'm going to get myself a tent right away. We're going to get ourselves a couple scavenges of wood. We're going to go for some food. We're going to go for a well. And then we'll go for a basic toilet, and that's fine for the moment. We're going to actually use our next immediate stamina to explore another region instead of building more stuff, because I'm not kidding when I say exploring these 4 regions is a fast-paced thing. Like, if you don't do that right away, you're going to end up losing some of your authority, and there's really not much you can do about it. So let's go ahead and pick that up. I will claim this region here. I'm hoping we are still going to be scavenging some additional food because our next thing here is to produce 3. Now, I could get myself some farms, and that's all good. In fact, I will go ahead and do that. But if you're out of your storage cap, well, then you're not really going to get anything passively, which is where having some more of these bubbles from the scavenging is nice, because then you can instantly finish up the produce 3 thing, which we just did because we got 4 wild carrots. Perfect. So that's easy enough. Now I'm going to take some of my stamina, grab the forest over here. Let's go ahead and actually, you know what? First, let's get ourselves another well, because I want to start stacking some up, because right now we're a little on the low side. Then I want to go for, let's say, some firewood splitting. And then we're going to go for some extra lumber production. Can't forget any of the basics here. I do need to actually get myself a makeshift fire pit because we've got pop level 2 here. So we'll do that, but you have to have 2 service buildings in order to deal with those folks. But with 2 population, now I should be able to start generating a bit more stamina. How are we doing on water? We're treading water right now, and I say that kind of with a joke. We'll just go ahead and get 1 more well, then we'll get ourselves the lumber yard, so we're always producing. And then we need to get all the way up to population level 3. So let's go ahead and build out another tent. I do want to expand to the north and claim this region, but I know there are zombies over here, and I'm not really eager to antagonize them quite yet, not if I can avoid it. So what instead I'm going to do is go for tech level 2, mainly so that I can build more production buildings in a tighter, small amount of space so I can be very defensive, and also so I can eventually make my fighters just a little bit stronger. So we're going to train up that fighter now. I'm not going to click this quite yet. I'm going to wait until I have a little bit of stamina so I can immediately build, let's say, a kitchen, because once you get that, you're going to find that people do want this. Now, notice something here. I heard some people complaining that, like, I'm wrong. As you gain your population, that's what people are going to demand more stuff, but technology has nothing to do with it. That may be true, that may not? Anecdotally speaking, I find that when you get the next tech level, demands seem to go up. But at the same time, we may have already had people wanting kitchens. You know, that was already a thing, and now I'm actually able to act upon it. So it may just be kind of coincidental about how the timing works. At the end of the day, it's kind of a distinction without a difference. As you get Tech 2, you're probably going to want to get some additional services, so let's just go ahead and plan on some of that. Now, I do need more food, so let's go ahead and claim this region now, and then we're going to get ourselves another grain field. We'll be able to get some more grain fields with more stamina in a second. Here comes population level 3. As far as services, I'm going to go ahead and get myself some improved housing. Just trying to keep that, you know, morale a little bit higher. And now we need to train up 2 fighters. Now, with 2 fighters, we'll be able to take the zombies out pretty easily, but I'm also not in a huge rush here, all right? We could do it right now, but I've got like 250 days. Oh, hold on. We see the zombies coming in now. We've got like 250 days to get population 3. I got it well before that, so we've got a little bit of breathing room, and I should do something about that. Exploring more areas. This won't do a lot for me because I've already explored most of the areas I care about, so we're just going to go ahead and get the extra morale. Let's place down our fighter right here. Now, this is going to happen a lot, especially on Mega Brutal 5. Zombies are going to come charging out of the forests and come and attack you. That's why I did not delay getting my first fighter, because I knew that I was going to end up needing it. Let's see, what else could I need here? So we're going to need things like some storage. I'm going to go ahead and just do that in a couple places while I've got a little bit of stamina to work with. And I wouldn't mind getting one more lumberyard as well, just because some wood production is going to be important. But we also need to explore some of these regions over here, because I know this is where the rest of the zombies are going to be. So let's get another lumberyard, and then let's go ahead and start exploring. There's 3 regions along here that we're going to have to clear out. And I do need to get myself up to my second fighter before I start fighting them, but we might as well just start knocking this out. So we have room for a little bit more grain production, because right now I'm not building up much before the winter hits. So I'm actually not going to have anywhere near enough food, and that is highly concerning. So we're going to go ahead and preemptively start scavenging a bit for some fuel, and we're going to scavenge a bit for some food as soon as I get my second stamina, which we could have done early, because I have the whole physical fitness person, but no, I'd rather not. I'd rather not go into a dip. And also, depending on who you have for your leader, you may not be able to do the same thing. Compulsive washing. Water consumption, chance of disease. I'm okay with water consumption going up. I'm usually pretty good at that, dealing with water, so we'll just go ahead and pick that up. Now I'm going to go ahead and save up 4 stamina and try to get myself my next fighter so we can start fighting against the zombies. By preemptively doing some of the scavenging, we should have enough firewood coming in to get through this winter. Unless we have these events, there it is, send lots of fuel. These things will happen, and you don't want to lose control of an area, so they are the primary way of putting pressure on you to actually spend up a lot of your fuel, so you can't just scavenge nonstop. It's a little annoying, I'm not going to lie, but it does happen. All right, let's go ahead and attack this region up to the north. There's a reason I want to attack this one specifically, which you will see in just a little bit. I'm also going to explore this area, since I know we have to move here to clear out marked areas, and this one right here, because it's adjacent to a bunch of places I have to clear out. Now notice, just like in Rebel Inc., our fighters are supporting each other. So we're going to be a little bit stronger by having multiple fighters around, and that is very much an intentional thing we want to do. For some reason, the event hasn't popped up here. Maybe we have to wait just a little bit longer, but it will eventually pop up. What else do we want to do? We could... Well, I can't really get more firewood and stuff there unless we get more trees, so we're kind of stuck with what we've got. I'm okay still on water production. I'm going to claim this region down over here and just get a little bit of extra food production. The good news about a hunting lodge is it does give you food year-round. It's not just during the summer months. So this helps kind of tide you over in winter just a little bit. There's the event I was looking for. Fighter strength goes up. Okay. Now you'll notice there are zombies over here in both of these regions. If I move into an adjacent region, there's a good chance that the zombies will hear the noise and come running, and we're going to fight all of them at once. What often ends up being a good idea is to go ahead and taunt. So we click on that and use some stamina and say, come over here instead. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So they come fight me. It looks like we actually somehow accidentally drew both of them now, so it's going to end up being fine, but point being, that's a way you draw them away from the group. Oh, it just happened to spawn a roaming group, because here comes these guys as well. Right, we're going to have to taunt that in a minute. We're going to have to do that, no way around it. I do want to go for tech level 5, as long as we've got the resources, and it looks like right now we do, so no problem. I also want to get myself a small town square, because our morale has not been looking phenomenal up to this point. But let's go ahead and taunt this guy before we forget, because I don't want to have some impatience issues. Once these 3 areas are cleared of zombies, even if we didn't go in there ourselves, we're going to complete our objective. Now we need to explore a marked area down here to the south. So we'll come back to that in a second. Let's get ourselves a town square. We can get ourselves a quick basic bathhouse, that's fine, and we will need to get ourselves another well in a minute. But I'm okay with what we've got. Let's go ahead and explore down here to the south as soon as we have another round of our stamina. Then we're going to move down over here with our fighters because we're going to go charge across this and have to claim that area in just a little bit. So water production still actually looking okay. Maybe we're fine. Maybe I don't have to worry about it. We could go for 4 population, and I'm fine with that. Now that we can actually get more resources like charcoal pits and stuff like that, we should be able to support a larger population. So now we've explored that, we have to claim it. Let's go ahead and move our fighter down here to the south. And at this point, pretty much all of our stamina is going to go into things like exploration. So as soon as these guys are cleared out, we'll want to start exploring down to the south, and there are some zombies up here to the northeast, though I find they often come to you. So I may not have to explore in that direction at all. We will see. All right, so that's done. Let's go ahead and start the exploration. So what else do I want to be doing? Our morale's looking completely fine at the moment, so we just want to be getting more of the charcoal pits, more storage, more of that. I can't get anything I care about there. We could get some more storage, I suppose, for food. We'll do that twice. That's fine. And then as we get a little bit more, we'll just keep exploring over in this direction. So we're going to let our fighters kind of heal and then just kind of systematically move forward. Now the problem is, because there are so many zombies all close together, we're going to have to use the taunt in order to keep them under control. I don't really see a good way around that. Let's get ourselves some more service buildings since we see our morale is actively falling right now. So that's going away. Let's taunt these guys in because I know there are more zombies over here and I don't want to draw them all in at once. We can send in some help here. Not worried about it. And then what else do we need beyond that? Well, aside from just continue to explore, not a lot. Let's go ahead and push forward just a little bit. If we can claim some of these regions so that we have more places to heal up, that wouldn't be a bad thing. I think we actually did draw these guys' attention by moving in here and fighting a zombie, so that's kind of an example of how if you go charging in, all the adjacent zombies can become a problem for you, and you need to be prepared for that possibility. Let's go ahead and move in over here. Actually, you know what? No, if I move in here, if there are zombies here and here, they'll come running in. So actually, if we wait 5 seconds, it would make a lot more sense to go ahead and taunt that area. But I also need to keep getting our services up. Actually, we're having water issues now. Of course we are. All right, hang on. Get ourselves another well. Wasn't paying attention to that. My morale is starting to drop as a result. But I think we can deal with it quickly enough. We're going to produce like 6 water from a medium well. That is plenty. If I do this, I'm going to go into a deficit on stamina, but I accept this temporarily because I should be able to make up for it no problem. Now we have extra wood production, which I do consider to be quite good. And then just keep exploring, and that is it. And as we keep going, because we got a little pop-up in this particular territory, we got a discount on all of our other explorations. So it's a smidge cheaper to deal with this now. And I think we can deal with this just around by the time that the winter ends. Let's go ahead and taunt this group in. Again, there's more in the fog of war over here. So if I went charging in, we could find ourselves getting overwhelmed very quickly, and that would obviously be a huge problem. Let's explore that region, and then I don't know if there are zombies still here. I assume that there are. We'll explore to be safe, because I'm not feeling like taking any stupid risks here, but we're gonna find out. I do want to do a couple more scavenges of fuel, because it looks like we're still not producing quite enough, especially if we have to send all of our fuel to make sure we don't lose any regions. That sucks. Yeah, a lot of the times I find when you get to the game and you have longer winters, you're going to have to start scavenging a lot. And that's just the way things are going to go. Unless you really, really have a lot of fire pits. If we had a second forest, and there is one right here and one up over here, then we would be able to sustain a larger population. But even then, you usually just go through your fuel so gosh dang fast. It's just not easy. Turns out we already did kill the guys that were up here to the top right. It looks like they came running after us a while ago, so that was actually it. All the zombies are dead. We can go ahead and click the button, and we move on. Score of 303, not my best situation, but not too bad overall. So it's an easy enough scenario, really. You just have to learn how to attack the zombies kind of in smaller waves, incremental steps, draw them to you, do not accidentally run into the group, because if they all swarm you, you're going to lose your fighter, and that's not a good time. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative in some way. If so, I would ask you hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.